The government shutdown continues, with both parties still blaming each other. The key reason for not moving forward, according to the DEMS and Republicans, are they're not in an agreement with the DEMS wanting to continue health care for undocumented immigrants. The Republican Party says no way. Here's the report.
There is no gimmick. People say, why aren't you negotiating with Schumer and Jeffries? Because I quite literally have nothing to negotiate. There's nothing I can pull out of the bill that was a Republican priority to say, oh, we won't do that. Why don't you guys vote for it now? I don't have anything. I didn't put anything in it to send it over. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that they have decided to shut the government down and hurt people. It is on them 100%.
Blame game. CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns is live on Capitol Hill. So we know that another vote is scheduled for tomorrow. In this atmosphere, I feel like I ask this every day as this goes on. Is there any indication, even a sliver of hope for a breakthrough, Caitlin?
Well, Reed, there has been a lot of finger pointing up here on Capitol Hill, as you just heard from that clip and others, and not a lot of progress. This building is kind of empty today, Reed. Lawmakers are observing the Yom Kippur holiday. They are expected to come back, the Senate's expected to come back tomorrow and have the same vote on the same bill tomorrow afternoon. And we haven't heard yet whether there are more Democrats who may cross the aisle and vote for this measure. What we do know is that people are actually talking now. I know that's a low bar for Capitol Hill, but that is the bar nonetheless. Earlier this week, the two sides were very much dug in their positions, and they still are. But yesterday, we started to see a small bipartisan group of senators start to talk a little bit on the Senate floor, and those conversations have been evolving a little bit. Now, they haven't reached up to leadership position yet. There is no firm proposal, but they are talking about a way to reopen the government and perhaps address the health care issue. But we already see the administration saying that today or tomorrow, these federal firings could start to take place. They are already starting to withhold funds, as you mentioned. So the hardball aspect of this is still very much on. But we shouldn't expect any movement until tomorrow at the earliest. And you can bet this will go into the weekend and at least until next week.
I'm going to ask you, Democrats want to give your health care money to illegal aliens and open our borders to the criminals of the world. The president goes on to say that's a deadly combination because everybody will come! Exclamation point. Let's go live to the White House. CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro. So Aaron, Democrats say what the president says there just isn't true. So here's my bottom line question. Let's just cut through it. Are Democrats pushing for health care for people who are undocumented in the country or not?
In part, they are, but it is for those who are here legally, or at least came in legally under President Biden's administration. And that's kind of the big thing here. And the Democrats' alternative to the funding bill supported by this White House, by Republicans, they want to repeal a part of the, quote, one big beautiful bill that narrowed Medicaid eligibility for non-citizens. So those that came in under asylum or parole during the Biden administration. The Trump administration, since he began his second term, has ended a lot of those Biden-era programs and revoked the legal status of many of those who were granted asylum or parole and came in through those programs. So that is kind of what they're arguing here when they say that Democrats want to expand health care for those here illegally. Another provision that Democrats want to bring back is this reimbursement that hospitals get for treating immigrants for emergency care regardless of their legal status. The one big beautiful bill lowered the amount that hospitals can be reimbursed for. So there's some nuance here, but the Trump administration, from what we heard from his post today, as well as Vice President Vance yesterday, are really focusing in on kind of the changes that they made to the immigration system compared to President Biden, and arguing that those that came in through Biden are here illegally.
It is a new day, and I think that nuance is so important. I appreciate you clearing that up because it's definitely a part of the back and forth there. I also want to ask you this. The president's press secretary was asked today about the prospect of federal workers losing their jobs as this shutdown shows no signs of ending. Listen.
Look, it's likely going to be in the thousands. It's a very good question, and that's something that the Office of Management and Budget and the entire team at the White House here, again, is unfortunately having to work on today. These discussions and these conversations, these meetings would not be happening if the Democrats had voted to keep the government open.
So, Aaron, what meetings is she talking about, and what kind of decisions will be happening that will affect people's jobs?
Yeah, President Trump said he'll be meeting with White House Budget Director Russ Vought, who Trump acknowledged himself is an architect of Project 2025, a kind of conservative blueprint on what a new Trump administration could look like. And he said he will talk to Vought about what, quote, Democrat agencies Vought will recommend to cut and whether those cuts are temporary or permanent. In the past few days, we've heard from both Vought as well as this White House that these mass layoffs in this shutdown could happen imminently or within the next 2 days. But we have not gotten much clarity on what those mass layoff or reduction in force plans look like from the agencies. We could potentially see more activity on that after this meeting that the president has with Vought later today. And it's also worth noting that White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who we just heard from, said that the layoffs could be, quote, in the thousands and could happen to agencies, quote, not aligned with this administration's agenda.
Aaron Navarro with some important reporting there. Thank you so much.